Good morning. Here we are. Near on 3 years to the day since I was sat fishing somewhere in the middle of France. It's now Tuesday the 5th of July, it's about 7:30 in the morning, and after a very trouble-free trip coming down yesterday, we've made it here on the River Seine, just downstream from Paris. It's a tidal stretch. It's below the last weir on the River Seine, so we've got a tide variant here, which makes it a little bit interesting, of about 5 or 6 feet tide variant at the minute. And just thought it'd be a nice way to start the trip. I've got a month or more to fish, and I just thought, rather than normally bomb it down as far as I can and just sort of camp somewhere overnight, I thought I'd just take a nice steadily drive down 150 miles from Calais and fish a couple of nights on the River Seine. Thought maybe try and find somewhere on the River Seine that isn't absolutely infested with catfish, so we thought we'd give this a go. So got down last night at about arrived on the river at about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and you think such a big river is so difficult to find decent accessible swims, especially as I really only wanted just to park outside, you know, with my van without having the trouble of loading up the boat and going and finding a swim that way. Didn't want to do that, so I just wanted somewhere where I could just pull out and fish pretty much out the back of the van. So eventually, after 3 hours or more, we found 3 or 4 good looking swims, and I really like this swim here. It looked really nice comfortable swim as well, and to be fair, I think most of the river's pretty uniform. Unless I'm going to fish on the corner of an island or something like that, you know, there's not much in a way of feature. Just a drop off at about 15, 20 yard out from 10 foot going down to 16 foot, and then it gradually slopes out to about 22, 23 foot of water right out in the middle. So yeah, that's your best feature, I suppose, the drop off. So that's what we're fishing, just sort of on the drop off, just down the bottom of it. So I thought we'd give it a go here for a couple of nights before I move on to a lake where I can really get my teeth into. But this is a nice way to start. I don't feel like I've wasted a night just overdoing it and not fishing. So we're actually fishing, so that's good. And what a lovely day it is. It's going to be another hot day today, probably in the mid-20s at least, mid-high 20s. And you know, it's really pretty here. There's lovely sort of chalky limestone cliffs. I didn't really expect it to be quite like this here. I expected it to be a lot flatter up this neck of the woods. It goes to show how many amazing places you drive through thinking you've found your perfect lake or river. You sometimes drive, you know, a dozen hours nearly to find them, but really there's a lot within a few hours from Calais. Really get so many people asking questions, where can I fish within 3 hours of Calais, and I haven't really got an answer. You know, I say, oh yeah, give the Yonne, the Seine, the Oise and places like that a go, and I wouldn't know about lakes and lakes and such. But it's just a case of going and, you know, willing and prepared to spend a few hours, half a day, looking for swims and just giving it a go. Been told there's carp in here. I don't think they're going to break any records, but it'd just be nice to catch a River Seine carp. go. A lovely little common carp. Beautiful. Lovely. My first carp in, well, over 3 years. My first fish from this river in the north of France in well over 20 years. Belle carp. Pretty.
Petite.
Yeah.
Ah.
There we go. Good.
Too nice.
No, put it back. Good evening. It's still Tuesday the 5th of July, 10:30 in the evening, French time obviously. Been a lovely day. Don't know quite where it's all gone to really. So obviously earlier on this afternoon you saw me catch that little common carp of around 10-12 pound. And I lost another one as well, bumped off of it, and I lost a catfish as well, which proceeded to strip about 150 yards of line off of me in one foul swoop. I wouldn't have said it was absolutely huge. My clutches are set quite light purely because my rods are up high, and I don't want anything to rip the rods off the rest, so keep the clutches a bit light, and you tend to get screaming runs. So yeah, throughout the day there's been lots of activity from carp. I'm surprised I haven't had a few more really. Quite a few sort of showing over the bait. Maybe there's quite a lot of bait still down there. Maybe they're still just building up the confidence to go on it. I don't know. But it's certainly a lot of fish here. One or two better fish I've seen move. Certainly a few over 20 pound that sort of like come pretty much out the water, just sort of pretty much at the back of them swim. Only about 20 yards out really. So yeah, it's looking really good. Certainly obviously going to do tonight, and maybe do a third night as well. We'll see how tonight goes, as long as I don't get catted out. Should be okay. So yeah, been a bit of an eventful day. I'm fishing right at the back of a big allotment, so you've got all the old boys turning up and have parking sort of by my van, and very inquisitive to see what I'm doing. And I had an old gentleman come down this morning and had a bit of a chat with me. I had to call it a conversation with my very poor French, and I probably learnt more French in that half an hour he was with me than I have done in the last 20 years, so it's quite good. Bit of a learning experience. And he made out that he's going to come back down later on and bring a bottle of wine with him, and sure enough, just when I caught that carp, he was there sharing his glass of rosé with me, a bottle of rosé with me, which was very nice. So yeah, and then a few other old boys turned up and had a bit of a chat. It was pretty cool. So that's been a good fun day really, and just enjoying a lovely French summer's day underneath these lovely willow trees here in pretty much idyllic situations. So yeah, it's looking good. It's a lovely way to start off my adventure, that's for sure. So yeah, here we are. The sun's obviously gone down now, and going to be dark soon. And let's see what tonight brings. Yeah, it's look good. What I'm noticing now is I think we've now, as you probably noticed, I'm on a tidal river. It's pretty obvious which one I'm on, but I'm not going to say. There's quite a tide variant here. It's a good 2 meters at least, I would say. So at the minute it's just come up to high tide. And what I'm noticing is a lot of water pushing through. And a lot of stuff going out on the far edge. Almost looks like they've opened the gates up a little bit on the first dam or something. They've pushing through, but about 3:30 in the morning it'll be low tide, and be able to wade out and wallow out in about a foot of sloppy mud, about 20 yards out. But that seems to be when the fish were moving most. Most of the carp were moving on that sort of low tide period. Maybe it just squeezes the fish in a little bit more, I don't know. Certainly looks a different river at low tide, that's for sure. Looks a lot smaller. So, yeah. So, yeah. Incidentally, the carp are caught on tiger nuts, which doesn't surprise me on these French rivers. These always seem to be a better bait for me, anyway. Right, here we go. Don't know if this will come out very well or not. Bit surprised by the size of this one, but it just goes just a shade over £22. Just tucked into bed. I think it's still just about Tuesday the 5th of July. And this one's rolled off again. Not quite sure if it's on the boilie or a tiger nut. So yeah, it's out of the blue. What an absolute beautiful fish. £20 river carp. Lovely. Beautiful. Lovely. Good morning. It's Wednesday the 6th of July. I don't know what time in the morning it is, sometime just before sunrise. It was at 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that, and just been woken up to another screaming run, and another slightly bigger carp this time as well. Beautiful fish, mid-20, just over £25. Another beautiful common, great condition, real chunky fish. There you go, look at that, absolutely immaculate. 25 and a quarter or something like that. Yeah. Lovely. They all fight like stink. Brilliant. I'm on just a quickie. Real pretty fish this time. Just a mid-double. That's been a busy night. I don't know how many I've had now. 7 or 8 fish now, something like that. And yeah, good sport. Certainly a good warm up for before we go for some big girls, that's for sure. Lovely. Incidentally, for the last 5 fish, come on my old faithful. It's just a 20mm bottom bait and a good old fashioned 16mm pineapple pop up. Lovely, can't go wrong with it. So second morning on this lovely northern river, and things are going straight off. Things are going well. It really is. It really is another lovely day. Birds singing, sun shining, and we're catching carp, which is always a good combination. Ask anybody. So I don't know how many fish I've had today. I think last night, I think I've had about 7, 8 so far total. So the best was 25, 22. Yeah, and then the rest have all been mid doubles, a bit like that one I just put back. So I had that 25 pounder this morning, and I had about suppose about a gallon of particle and boilie left in the bucket. So I just went out and just created a nice little line about 50-60 yard long from the marker just out. That marker's in about sort of 14-15 foot of water just over the other side of the weed line and a drop off. And yeah, it's good. No catfish, which is brilliant. So yeah, so put that bit of bait in there, and then obviously had that lovely golden chestnutty coloured common literally a couple of hour and a half after it. So yeah, it's good. Well, they just keep coming. Every hour or so we get another run. Got a real weird one here, and what I'm struggling is with the size of these fish as well. This one goes shy of 21 pounds, but it just don't look it. They're good solid fish. They do feel heavy, you know, they've got great condition. So it's about 11 o'clock now. Wednesday the 6th, I think we are. Oh, I don't know what we are. Yeah, Wednesday the 6th, something like that, around midday. This was a bit weird. Funny goggly eyes, look at that. Like, look at that, get a close up of that, look at that. Never seen one like it. Very weird. Extra, looks like he's got his contacts in, big fat contacts. Never seen anything like it. Maybe we'll call him Penfold. Yeah, so there we go. They just keep coming. Oh, I'll tell you something, that's better. There's only so long you can live on pot noodles, you know. Big, fat fry up. Done. Lovely jubbly. Wednesday, July the 6th. It's about midday. And just a little recap really on the last sort of 24 hours really from this time. It's been quite a busy 24 hours. Since that first fish that I caught sometime mid-afternoon yesterday, it has been quite steady. It doesn't seem like there's been 2 hours where I haven't had a run of some description. A few drop runs through the night, I should imagine, from smaller fish. A couple pulled out in a weed. Yeah, I think I must be on about getting on for about 9 or 10 fish now. 3 more notable ones. I weighed the last one I caught this morning, and that was just over 20 pounds. Quite surprising, really. But they are good solid fish. So yeah, so a 20 pounder, I think 22 and a 25. So yeah, it's going well. Pretty tired. Not used to it. So yeah, just had a lovely fry up, starting to sort of like really sort of flake a little bit, if you like, you know. Suddenly realised that you can't really live on pot noodles. So yeah, I had a good breakfast, put another couple of gallon of particle and maybe a couple of 100 boilies and a nice long line over the shelf. So I can assume it will probably be a little bit quiet for a little while. Just anticipating getting some more fish this afternoon. It seemed like as the we've got a real beaut here. I thought it looked a lot bigger actually, this one, for a change. So it's what are we? Can't even remember what we are. Yeah, we're Wednesday the 7th of July still. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening. Nothing all day, so lots of time for chores. Since that last one this morning, around 20 pound I think. But this is a beauty. Absolutely beauty. 27.8. Oh. Try that again. So there we go. Try that again. So this is a beauty. £27 8 ounces, and it is pure gold. Push some of the slime off. There you go. It's come out well. Look at that. That is absolute beaut. Right. Might give it another night after tonight now. It's only meant to be coming here for a bit of fun, but my target in my head, if things went well, was a £30 plus fish from this river, and getting a little bit close to it now. Things are working so well, it'd be silly to move off the other side of him. Some real weight to it, real solid fish. Lovely, absolutely chuffed to bits with that one. Good evening, guys. About 9:30, Wednesday the 6th of July, and yeah, literally an hour and a half or so later, and this one ripped off. Only a very low double at most, but oh my god, they just absolutely go off at 100 mile an hour. I have to have the clutches quite loose because the rods are very high, and I'm going to chase the butt rests over to change the butt rests over to cups, so I can keep my bait runners a little bit tighter, because these things are just stripping 50 yards of line off me in seconds. You know, this one nearly tore the rod in the water, and you know, if I'd have lost it, I'd have said it was an easy mid-20, but was it about 11-12 pounds? I don't know. But great fun, great sport. 3 years away from the sport, and really enjoying it. So yeah, hope it continues. There we go. Just put that fish back. Second of the evening. Maybe I get on for 10 dozen fish now. I really don't know. Really should keep counting a little bit more, really. But just enjoying it for what it is. It's just good fun. Nice to be somewhere nice and quiet on my own and enjoying fishing some amazing places. So anyway, we've just jumped straight into this vlog a little bit, really. A bit out of practice, really, for 3 years out of it. So it probably could be a little bit better, but there we go. So yeah, just a little bit about what we're doing, baiting up and all the rest of it. My rigs are pretty much the same as they always are. The only difference is what I put on the end of them, really. You know, just blowback rig, size 2 101s or size 4 quarter curves. Yeah, and that's it, really. 5 ounce 5 ounce leads, because I'm only casting. Yeah, and baiting up, I'm for my ever faithful fish meal boilie mussel, and then I've got a Scopex and chocolate malt one here, with a lot of corn steep liqueur in it, and then my particles is my usual buffet mix. So this time I've gone for peanuts as well. Got a sack of peanuts, maize, groats, party blend, hemp, tiger nuts, I think I said. I haven't bothered putting any pellet in this because I was a bit worried, because it's a river, and catfish might be a problem. So I baited up about 2 gallons this morning, after that last fish of about £25. And in that 2 gallon there might have been about 200 boilies, and then that mix of particles that I've just said, and I've just scattered a long line. I've got a marker just showing just on the drop off where I am, so I know what line I roughly am at, because it makes a difference where I cast during the day, because it's a tidal stretch of the river if I put that in, and so when the tide's out, obviously I cast a lot further out. When the tide's in, I tend to just drop it over the shelf. So I'm scattering a nice line of bait all the way down, probably now, sort of bored it back in now. It's just a 40-yard section of bait, and my rods are just dunk, dunk, dunk all the way down it. And I'm just spreading that 2 gallon all the way over that. So I've resisted putting any more bait in because I haven't caught all day since that one this morning. And I'm glad I didn't really, because if I'd have gone and put another gallon or so of bait out there, then it'd have only prolonged me getting another take. So we'll leave it for the minute. Obviously we've got a number of fish coming through now. I might go out there and just stick another half a gallon of bait out there in the next hour or so, but I'm sure there's plenty of bait out there for them still to pick up and keep them interested. So that's it. Until next time, I'll catch you later. Right, good morning. It's Thursday the 7th of July. I think it's about 10:30 in the morning now. Yeah, I had that since that little sort of a low double last night. It was a bit of a quiet night really. I got woke up first in the early hours, I don't know, about 4 in the morning, and landed a mid double common, and since then, from then till about 9 in the morning, I had 5 takes, dropped 2, landed 3. They were all commons, all around the mid double sort of range, all sort of like peas in a pod. So just unhooked them all in the water because the tide was out. There's a lot of mud, and so you're wading through like nearly a foot of mud. So a lot of hassle just to bring those up for a bit of video. They look all the same. So yeah, lost 2. The trouble is fishing over the marginal shelf, and at low tide the line drops down into all the weed, and sometimes it's a job to get the main line out of the snags, out of the weed, and suffered a couple of hook pulls. Well, one was a hook pull, and actually one the hook broke, and that was called a curve, size, I think that's size 4s. Sort of got a wide gate straight point hook, and they're a little bit weaker, a little bit of a finer wire on them, but they do present well when fishing the snowman. But then again, so does the 101s really, size 2s, so a lot stronger. I've never had a problem with those, but I have had a few quarter curves fail on me. But there we go, one of those things. Contemplating perhaps packing up today and making a move down south, but just we're catching fish here, and the goal is to try and catch a 30-pounder. So if I can catch a 30-pounder from this river, then that really would be the cherry on the top, or anything over 30 pounds really. And there's always a chance of a mirror as well. That'd be a bit of a result. So yeah, I'm going to give it another 24 hours from now. I've trickled in a little bit of bait this morning, just a gallon and a half, just to top up what had probably been taken overnight, and just sit on this for the day, and then probably bait up this evening again. Yeah, and just enjoy the day. It's lovely here, you know. It's just a real shame to leave it. But on that note, I will catch you guys later. Down the river, and I think actually there's even a fella out there in the boat at the minute, and it sounds like he's conking for catfish, which is something I don't see very often. So there are catfish in here, but I've seemed like I've been lucky enough, touch wood, to avoid them at the minute. So yeah, let's hope if I catch a 30 plus tonight, it isn't a catfish. So yeah, there we go. So on that note, I'm going to leave it there. Going to just enjoy the rest of the evening and just chill out for a little while, because it's probably going to be the last night I get to do it for a few nights. It's going to be all hard work again. So yeah, there we go. I'll leave it at that, and hopefully see you later. My bite time's here. I was just about to go out and get my marker from the boat, so I'm going tomorrow. And just literally got out there, and all of a sudden one of the rods ripped away, and this little torpedo, low mid double, ripped off again and give me another great battle. They are certainly great fun. They really are for anything else. There we go. It's about 9:30 at night now, so nice start. This one was about double the size. Cripple. Put it back. Keep going. Lovely. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. It's about Friday morning now. I think it's about fish number 4, I think, in the last three hours or so. Thought this one was a little bit bigger. It's about 19 pounds. So literally I had a bream, so I brought it back in, and the bottom bait had come off, so I put a new soaked bottom bait on and barely set it and made it back to the bivvy before it went again. So yeah, it's hectic, but lots around. Yeah, just lots of doubles, all peas in the pod really. Good fun, scrapping like hell. I'm meant to be going tomorrow, and I think it's going to get to the point in a minute where I just don't bother putting any more rods back out, because I won't be going anywhere in a hurry. But it's been epic, it's been great fun, that's for sure. So Friday the 8th of July, it's about 8:30 in the morning, and as you can possibly tell, I'm bloody knackered. It really did kick off last night. My Christ, it was just constant. If you put a fresh bait out, freshly soaked bait out, it literally could go in minutes. So needless to say, it got to about 2 o'clock and it was absolutely ridiculous, and every time I went to get into bed, you know, it would go. So yeah, just wound them all in, had enough. I don't know how many I think I don't even know when I last recorded you. I think I recorded a 19 pounder, which looked a bit bigger. Thought it was going to go 20 at least anyway. And then after that, I think I might have had another half a dozen, something like that, before I held my hands up and said enough was enough. So I thought I was going to need to get some sleep. So yeah, there we go. Lots of fun, good fun, but nothing big. You know, 27 pounder that I had a couple of days ago proved to be quite a special fish for here, for me, this time on this river, in the circumstances. So there we go. But yeah, well and truly outstayed my welcome now, and I'm going to pack up the rest of my stuff. Got most of it in last night, the boat and all the rest of it. Don't really need that anymore. And head on down south to the next challenge, I suppose you might call it. So yeah, looking forward to this one, and let's see how we can do here. Not going to be quite so fast and furious as here, I know that. So there we go. So with about a 360 mile drive, about 7.5 hours, I shall get down there sometime later on this afternoon. Probably try and find a campsite, I think, and use their facilities for tonight, and then start tomorrow on Saturday. Right, so it's about 9:30, Friday the 8th. We're all packed up. This was camp, and what a lovely place it is. I think I've sort of done a shot like that, but it was purely idyllic. There you go. What a lovely place. So yeah, that's been fun, but well, it wasn't fun at the end. Got all packed away. Had a nice bucket bath. Bit of a clip up, and off we go to our next destination. like that. That was a serious amount of bait I put out there. It's a carp in this amazing lake, and it's a real pretty one as well. It's midday now and it's starting to get hot. By 2 o'clock you're going to be wishing it was 7 o'clock in the evening or later. That's another carp. You know, it's almost one carp every 24 hours, probably 4 catfish every 24 hours though, so yeah, it makes it difficult. Look at that, that is an absolute beast.